What's up, everyone? Dalton Hopkins of Frontstretch.com. I'm standing next to the one and the only AJ Allmendinger, the Dinger. AJ, this is going to be your first year in the NASCAR Cup Series, full-time with Kaulig Racing. Can you tell me what this is like to be with this team and seeing it, how much it's grown to the point where now you can actually be full-time in the Cup Series again?
Yeah, I mean, this team has done so much for me in the last 5 years that I've been a part of it. Is part-time and then, going full-time in Xfinity and now in Cup. I have truly enjoyed it. I love it. I think more and more kind of each year passes, what Matt and Chris have allowed me to do, and then all the men and women here, there's so much potential. And I think, Xfinity, we've seen over the last couple of years, we've had so much success. And on the Cup side of it, I felt like what Justin did last year full-time, and then in the 16 car, just with all three of us, we were making strides in the right direction. So that was a big part of why I wanted to go full-time Cup racing again, was just because I felt like there's so much potential. Now, there's a lot of work that goes with that. We still have a lot of growing to do to be with the Hendricks and the Penske's and like that every weekend. But I felt like we showed when we got it right, we could run up front. But in a strange way, what this team has done for me over the last 5 years is, I would say, when I say this, it's not to the extreme, but, they saved my life to a certain degree in the sense of happiness, because there's always going to be those, man, what if this, or I wish I had more of that. And they've given me opportunities to win a lot of races I didn't expect to win. So it's been fantastic, and hopefully we keep doing more of it.
You're already making the sparks fly physically and literally and metaphorically yesterday with Chase Briscoe. Can you tell me about that? What happened with that incident there? Have you spoken to him at all?
No, I feel like NASCAR racing now, there's too much. We got to talk about everything. Like, guys touch each other. Like, oh, we got to go talk about it now. So I don't worry about it. He got in the side of me, and I was frustrated by it, and I was just showing my displeasure right away. Nothing. It's, to me, there's no, at least on my side of it, there's no ill feeling. He may feel different, but we're gonna have to race a lot with each other, and this is a part of the way the Cup Series is. We're against each other every weekend. You're gonna have run-ins with people, and in a way, you got to set the tone early of frustration there. And part of it was we were having a bad practice session, so I was already upset, and but yeah, it was just one of those things, and I'm sure we'll have a lot more bumping and banging against each other throughout the year. And I've always loved racing against Chase, and it was just one of those things that happened.
You already kind of mentioned it's like, yeah, this is going to be a full-time year. So is this like a new aggressive AJ Allmendinger that we're not really used to seeing? We're used to seeing you being such a happy-go-lucky guy and so joyful and everything. But is now going to be, with this new chance, this new opportunity at full-time in Cup, are you going to be a little bit more aggressive now?
Well, I mean, I think in a way this is the way the sport has become now. If you look at it, it's, when I first was a rookie in 07, guys like Tony and Mark and Jeff and Jimmy, and all those guys, there was hard racing, but I felt like back in those days there was a lot more give and take, and now it's just take. Like from like lap one on, it's take. So you have to be aggressive, and if you aren't that guy, then you get labeled as somebody that you can get pushed around, and that's not the way it's going to be on this side of it. So that wasn't in the sense of what happened of trying to make that statement. But yeah, it's the way it is, and I was just making a point that I was unhappy. And you race people how they race you, and others race you easier and others race you harder, and that's what you learn as you go. But yeah, it was it's a thing that I've already let go. And I'm sure if we see each other, we'll, if we want to talk about it, we can. But I'm fine.
Being a veteran of the Cup Series as well, you're telling me all this stuff, giving me all these lessons about the Cup Series, but you're top of the totem when it comes to drivers in the Kaulig racing, and now you're going to be full-time with your son, quote, son, Justin Haley, who just won the pole last night. What have you been telling him, and what's that like, knowing that you're going to be full-time with him again as a teammate?
Yeah, Justin's got all the talent in the world, and he's been around for so long, not so much in the Cup Series, but in the sport. I mean, forget he's really young still. So, I've always told Justin from day one when we first started being teammates that, I'm here for whenever he wants to talk. It's not something that I force myself on you to tell you, this is the lessons you should be learning. Part of this sport is you learn as you go. But I've always told him that whatever he needs, and I'm here. So he's got so much talent, and he's going to do a lot of great things. We saw last night when he's on. A tenth and a half around this place on pole.
It was a big gap.
It was pretty amazing. So he's got that talent to go do that, and it's when he runs well, it makes me so happy. Things like happened last night because he deserves it and he works hard. So hopefully together we have a lot of that this year.
And finally, Meyer Shank just won their second Rolex 24. You have a huge connection with those guys. Have you talked to them at all? Have you given them any kind of congratulations?
Oh.
And also, is there any want to go back and maybe try out the GTPs?
Oh, for sure. I'd love to go back and do it. Part of the reason why the last couple of years I haven't been with Meyer Shank is because with Mike, even with the IndyCar team prior to that, he only had one car, and so I was always able to be the fourth driver. So now with Simon and Elio there, they obviously run sports cars, and he's going to bring his guys in, and Honda want their guys in. So that's part of the reason why I haven't done the last couple of years. But I'm so pumped for the last 2 years for what Mike has been able to do there. That car this year, I was a little bit jealous. I was in awe of how fast that thing was. It kind of reminded me back when we won it in 2012 and we kind of dominated the race. So, I was texting Mike throughout the course of the race, called him right after the race. Elio is a guy that when I was teammates with him at Team Penske, I've loved Elio, so texting him and all that. So, yeah, it's of course I'd love to have been in victory lane with them, but to watch it makes me just as happy. And, all the success that Mike has, he deserves that times 10 because that's the type of guy he is.
And one more thing. So we mentioned the Cup Series, you're full-time, but the way you got back up here was through Xfinity Series. What's an Xfinity Series schedule going to look like in 2023 for you?
Well, I think I can only run 5 races.
Mm-hmm.
That's for as long as I've been in Cup. I think that's the limitation. So I'm sure we haven't really figured it out yet. I'm sure I'll run the road courses that I can run. I don't even know how many that is. I know Chicago's off the list with the rules that they made. So we'll do that, and then if there's another oval that I run, then that's really up to Matt and Chris. They know that I'd love to run anything they want me to run. So, but yeah, at max it's 5 races.
Excellent. Well, AJ, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me. I know you got to get going. You got a busy day ahead of you, and I wish you the best of luck in 2023.
That. This is Timmy Hill, driver of the 56 Toyota. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also check out one of those videos beside me and visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.